I'm going to let you take your impartial hat off. And feel free to go ham.
What have you done? We've already been at risk this whole time. Now it's got ultimate power.
Keep in mind, last episode you played the diabetes card and the sleep apnea. I played the anxiety card. So I'm impervious to your remarks.
Sorry, mate. Doesn't go two ways. Welcome back to Sharehouse Pod. My name is William Boyd. I'm not a host of this podcast. But today I am. I am joined by the hosts of this podcast. We've got Joel Harris and Mikey D.
It's such a pleasure, Will Boyd.
No,
Thank you for having us,
so
William.
weird. Thank you.
This is great.
Sorry.
Please welcome. Yeah.
Great
This
way.
is my podcast. Don't call it weird. Thank you.
I was going to celebrate our first guest mediator, but
First gripe. The
now I'm
guests are a bit
scared.
rude.
Now-
That's my first gripe, but I am the judge or mediator today, so I don't have a say.
You are quite literally, by definition, impartial today. Otherwise, you cannot
Sorry,
call
my
yourself a
podcast,
mediator.
I'll choose. My rules. my rules. I'll be a bit corrupt.
This is the coup, and we invited the coup. We're in here.
Oh, it's over. It's over,
You
bro.
let this happen, boys.
Yeah, it's collective stupidity here.
Mikey, I hear you have a grievance.
I do. I'd like to end my gripe in the form of a question.
Too bad I'm not going to let you talk. Here, you're done.
It's begun.
That's hearsay.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
can I have a urinate break?
No,
please?
you should have pissed before you entered the courtroom.
No.
That's a great point, actually. That's a rule. Put that up on the wall.
Sorry, Mikey, do you have a grievance?
Right. My gripe today is, I guess, what's the etiquette of a housemate when there's a party going on that isn't their party? And I'll give context to this, because the other day, my housemate Lockie was having a party, and it was for his girlfriend. And so there's a bunch of people in the house that I just didn't know. And I was having a bit of a sleepy day that day because I was DJing from 9 till 1 a.m. that night. So by the time I woke up, there was already people in the house. There's about 10 of them. And I am, full disclosure, an anxious fella. And 70% of the time, I'm fantastic with social situations. But that 30% of the time comes around and I fully freeze. And I start to think about all the things that could go wrong. And I finally muster up the courage to leave my room and go and say hi to people before I've only got a 10-minute slot before I have to go to my gig. But I'm so nervous. And I go out and people are being so accommodating to me, but I'm just freezing up. And I'm doing a terrible performance of Michael D'Adazio. A really bad rendition. Yeah. And I quickly scuttled back after shaking a couple of hands. I quickly scuttled back to my room and I just hid there for the remaining, maybe like 8 minutes before I had to go to my gig. And I felt like a really bad housemate because I thought, I'm not going out and saying hi to people properly. I'm not staying out and talking about their lives. I'm just being a recluse in my room. But then there's another small part of my brain that went, do I have to? Because this isn't my party. I live in this house and we're mates, but I don't know any of those people. I've got no obligation. And I kind of left thinking and justifying with that rationale that this is an okay thing to do. I'm okay to just stay in my room and there's a party going on. I don't have to say hi to anybody if I don't want to. I don't know if that's okay or not. And so I'd love to get to the bottom of it.
So a quick question from the mediator. I'm not sure if this is allowed in the courtroom.
No, it is. Sure.
You were sober?
Yes.
Okay. And just having like a bit of an anxiety, like don't really want to go out there. That's the context, right? Okay. Cool. That's the questions from the judge.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, all good. Just clarifying.
No, fair question.
Yeah,
fair question.
But it's the same thing. Like I, Joel Harris, who have hosted many a party over the years.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as like inviting someone to your party, and maybe they're not going to rock up. Like that's up to them. And like, especially if they're people who aren't closely associated with you and would like kind of expect you to come and hang out if you're in the same space together. If they're like friend of a friend, it's like, you're like a dude who lives there, sure. But I think it's fine if you don't want to participate on that night because it's not like a party that you've had a hand in throwing or being thrown for you. It's a party that's happening in your home, sure, but you've got a gig to get to. Like,
But I'll interject though because it's not like someone not rocking up because that person isn't at the house. A door away from being a part of the party. Like my bedroom, as you know, is situated right next to the kitchen and living room.
Yeah.
So I open that door a crack and people are 2 meters away from me having a party. So it's not actually that similar to someone staying at home and clicking can't go.
Yeah.
I'm there. Well and truly.
So you're wondering about your social presence, not so much like maybe things getting damaged in the house. It's
No, not about that at all.
Yeah.
It's about the etiquette of it. Do I even have to be a part of it? Is there an obligation to?
As the mediator, I would like to say, off the record, I love a party.
Yeah, okay.
I love a party.
My first impression of William Boyd was I went to a Fed Uni house party. I walked in, you're a topless bartender. I was like, this is a guy I'm hanging out with.
Sure.
We sold that as a uni auction to make money for our like uni group that like funded shows and stuff.
Sure.
So we're like, oh, be a topless bartender.
It's a great offer.
Yeah. Well,
I
normally
think so.
the topless bartenders go to the gym.
Yeah, it's modern day,
God,
baby.
that was a weird day when I found that out.
Just waking up scrolling the next
Just
morning
this
like,
slovenly bloke, like look like a melted ice cream bar, pouring drinks without an RSA.
I didn't tell the uni that one though.
So yeah, I love a party, and off the record, I think you're being a bit of a wet blanket, but.
I think this episode's us rebelling against the position of power.
Off the
What
record.
have we done? We've created a monster.
Wet blanket aside.
Sure.
It is your house and blankets can be wet if you want them to be.
They can be.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah.
I think it's totally fine to stay in your own house and do your own thing. That's all right. I think if you were a guest and you're like, I'm just going to go and sit in the bedroom.
Yeah,
that's
weird.
like, fucking do that at your own house,
Yeah.
mate. Like, don't come to my house and use my utilities like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I think... Sorry, this isn't my job to tell you this.
No.
My opinion.
Because like I fully agree with like what Mikey's doing
Yeah.
as well. But no, so yeah, I'm happy to discuss it.
My question for you though, Mikey, is was any pressure on this party on you to like be the DJ or be on charge of the playlist? Or no,
which is good, but that is sometimes a thing that people will throw at me, and I hate it. It's the same as saying to a comedian, hey, tell us a joke, and then, oh, you're a DJ, yeah, put on a playlist. No, I don't curate playlists on my Spotify for this party. I don't want to work, but there wasn't that obligation. There was no obligation at all, it was lovely. It was just my housemate Lockie's girlfriend Liv's birthday, and she's lovely, and I'm good friends with Liv as well. But I was just feeling particularly anxious that night, and I think something that set me off as well. I hate being the center of attention when I'm not at work. And for those wondering, my work is DJing, emceeing bigger events. So it's, in the public eye. But outside of that, I hate it. I really hate it. And the first thing someone said to me was a reference to my content, and I didn't know the person. And I immediately went in here.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, I now have to live up to that expectation they've got of me for my Instagram, which is not real, but was in my brain. And I thought, the other rebellious side was, I don't want to live up to that. Screw that guy. And so I really went with this enemy with a person that was just trying to be lovely towards me. But all that aside, I did find gripe with myself going back to the bedroom after saying hi to people and thinking, you could have stayed out there for 8 minutes and sucked it up. And I didn't. And I did feel guilt around that. But I do wonder as well, if you're in a share house, maybe you aren't that close with people. Are you allowed to do that? Is it making it weird for the guests?
But you wouldn't be having a party if you weren't close with those housemates, though, would you?
If you let's say you shared a house with people that you found online, but you weren't particularly close with those people, but they were having their own party with their own friends.
Yep.
Is that weird still for you to stay in your bedroom and everyone knows there's a housemate in the house, but they're in the bedroom? Because I've full disclosure, been to a house party like that. I'm like, oh, where's your housemate? Oh, they're in the bedroom. I'm like, oh, there's a party out here. That's weird. But then being on the other side of it now, I get it.
Thoughts, Joel?
I think it's fine. Like there have been many occasions where Aaron and Lockie have had a bunch of mates over there, like making dinner, having some drinks, and I just haven't really participated. Like I just haven't felt up to it. It's like I'm not involved in the party. I didn't know about the party until short notice because they're kind of doing it short notice. It's like, okay, it's nice to know that it's going on, but I don't think there is an obligation there.
Okay.
I think if I'm throwing a party and I'm bringing all my friends around, like Aaron and Lockie will know, but if it's like people I'm really close with that they may not really know, like it's kind of up to them to make that judgment of like, oh, do I want to get involved with these people or do I not? Or like maybe they like these people, but they're having an off night and they just want to chill in their bedroom. Like I think that's all very understandable.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to let you take your impartial hat off. And feel free to go ham.
what have you done? We've already been a risk this whole time. Now it's got ultimate power.
Keep in mind, last episode you played the diabetes card and the sleep apnea. I played the anxiety card. So impervious to your remarks.
Sorry, mate. Doesn't go two ways.
Oh no, it's gonna let some bees out or something.
I might also have anxiety, but I'm not shy. No, look, I look. On one hand, I think it's totally fine for you to stay at home. I have a few more questions, unfortunately. Like,
hit me.
All these people, like, just rapid fire. All the people in the house, were they your friends?
No.
They were all your housemates' friends?
Yeah.
With you. Okay, so that changes things. So if you invited a few mates around and then you pissed off, that's a bit different.
Yeah, 100%.
Had you had anything to do with organising the party?
No.
Okay, so it was like a Facebook event that you...
I wasn't even on it.
Okay.
It was just like a group of their mates for Liv's birthday.
Okay,
But,
good.
yeah.
Love Liv.
Yeah. Liv's great. Liv's great.
Yeah.
Liv's great. Hang on, sorry. Liv's birthday. Liv doesn't live at your house.
No, Lockie was just being a sweetheart and throwing his girlfriend a party.
Oh, for the missus.
I had absolutely nothing to do with it and I don't know the people.
Okay. Well, have they all run it past you to be like, are you okay?
Yeah, Lockie said, I was having people over. So that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he say, I'm just having people over? Or did he say, hey, Mikey, I'm having people over. Are you okay with this?
He said, are you okay with this video also? And now I feel like a scumbag saying this aloud. I was invited.
Yeah.
But I said,
you better be. It's your house.
But I was...
Hey, we're going to need you to f*** off.
We have the house for 5.5
Calls your
hours.
work. Can you please put Mikey on?
But I told him, like, I can't really be there. I can be there for a little bit, but I'd try and sleep before my gigs. Because then I'm up for, 4 hours to
absolutely.
the wee hours. But I was invited
What about
as
the
well.
2 hours? Sorry. Quick throwaway.
That's a great impulse.
But you set that expectation. You weren't going to be like, yeah, man, I'll be there.
If you're going to volley the ball, you've got to spike it, I'm going to volley it.
At least it's poo and not his sex life this year.
No, that's a great point,
hours.
though. What you're saying. Again, please continue.
That's it.
Do you want to rehash it?
Okay, let's flip it a bit. Let's flip the situation a bit. When you live with your parents, that's a share house. Okay, if you have we've all had a party growing up with our parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our mum or dad stayed in their bedroom because we don't want them out.
Yeah.
Okay, does that kill the vibe?
No.
Maybe Lockie sees you as his mum. Maybe it helped the situation.
Maybe there's an authoritative figure in the bedroom telling everyone to keep it down every so often.
It sounds like it might be exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sleep before my gig.
Yeah.
I'm like the out, or like, oh guys, it's actually hit 11:38. We got to go. Mikey's trying to sleep.
Maybe he sees you as the dad of the house. I don't know.
Right.
Who's in charge of the TV at 6 p.m? You or Lockie?
Refuse to comment. I don't know. I actually don't know. We share so much. It's actually very
That sounds
sweet.
like a dad being like, well, sometimes I'm bloody in charge of the remote and then sometimes it's little Johnny over there. But I don't interrupt when you're watching your shows.
Lockie's the cool
Don't
dad.
interrupt the Q&A, thanks.
While Ali's on the telly. No, Lockie is like the cool dad. Where he gives me the thought that I actually have a say in the house, and it's lovely. But ultimately, I think Lockie's very in control, which is
Right.
great. I need that.
So, okay. So dad had a few friends over and you as his son stayed in the room.
Yep, I didn't want to go out and sip on beer and party up with the adults.
That's fine. As they're all misogynistic and talking about the work at the factory for the day.
Just can't relate to any of the conversations. Then I go down, they ask me about school. I'm like, I'm learning.
Yeah.
This is very triggering.
You walk out of the room, hey mate, how are you?
Give me a kiss on the cheek.
How's my little champion
Uncle,
going?
stop. This has gotten dark. Jesus Christ, Andy, cut
This is what happens when you give him ultimate power.
No, I think that's totally fine to stay in your room.
Okay.
When you left, did you just scurry out or did you say goodbye to people?
I had a big old wave to everybody, but I am a big believer in I don't want to say goodbye to everyone individually, so I always just do the communal wave.
Oh,
Goodbye
right.
to everyone.
Do any of you ever do the Irish exit at a party?
All the time.
Do explain what the Irish exit is. I'm not
Just
aware.
pissing off.
Yeah.
Very occasionally,
I was
yeah.
at a bar a month ago with one of my mates and it was a whole group of us. It was a going away party for someone else that we all know. And then he's like, I bought her a drink I'm just going to do the Irish exit. My coat's on that next to the pool table. When you come out in 5 minutes, can you grab that coat? So it looks like I haven't left until you leave. I was like, no worries. And then I grabbed his coat, walked out. He was hiding behind a lamppost near my car. Absolutely crushed it.
I think there's more to that story. Why? Why is he hiding behind a lamppost?
Because he didn't want anyone to see him. He just wanted to duck off.
to get out.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
fair
brilliant.
enough. Like,
Yeah.
I know people who they don't like saying goodbye. They get very anxious about saying goodbye to everyone. So they're just kind of like,
Well,
they
when
head out of
the
the
Uber's
point.
out the front, you're getting charged per the minute. And you
Yeah.
know when you announce goodbye, everyone's going to want like, oh, like when's the next time I'm going to see you? Like, oh,
Yeah.
you're going to Europe. Like, we need to catch up for coffee before.
Yeah.
Like, none of that. Like,
I hate it.
I just got to go. Like, I've done it before. And you normally get a message from the host being like, where the hell are you? Like, why?
You get I'm not gonna get messages. That's nice. People actually care about you leaving.
No, like he doesn't care about his son though.
I Irish exit all the time because it's the same thing. And some people that maybe you haven't spoken to all night decide that in that 20-second goodbye, they're going to squeeze in an entire conversation with you into that moment.
Yep.
I don't have time for that. I'm gone in my
And
mind.
it's
I'm already
full,
left.
that conversation is always full of lies. Like we'll absolutely catch up.
not gonna happen.
Yeah, how's your sister, mate?
Yeah.
Or like, oh yeah, I've been tuning into your podcast.
Yeah.
What is it? Gend of the Frog? Like, So friend of the pod, plug that shit.
You gave me this position because I've listened to all these episodes.
Yeah. No, I think I very much like.
Let's
Sorry,
rein it
John,
back in.
Penny just dropped for Joel what I was suggesting.
Yeah.
Let's rein it back into the gripe.
But
and find a compromise.
big event. I get exiting.
Yeah.
Say bye to your loved ones. The people you love dearly, just be like,
Yes.
I'm out of here.
Clear and persuade. Can you just clearly say what is the gripe?
The gripe was that is it bad of me to not want to partake in a party happening in the share house?
No.
But you disagree.
I think the circumstantial
I-
evidence that you've provided just puts you off the hook.
I know this isn't my job right now to disagree.
I'll let you take off the hat. I regret it, but I'll let you take it off.
There's a few. If friends of yours are at the party, then you have to. You have to be out there. If you've helped organise the party in any way, you have to at least
Yes.
spend a little bit of time. If none of that is there,
Yeah.
then I think you're completely within your right to not help set up and not be in attendance.
Fantastic. Okay.
So
Well, yeah.
I think that's relating to your situation.
Yeah, that's exactly what my situation was. But I totally understand.
But that means you can't partake in party antics though.
Yeah, I'm so fine with that.
So if you're in your room like sitting there going, oh, I'm just bored, I don't want to go and socialise, but then you hear a bunch of people walk out the back to like you, sorry, I don't know what we're talking about, and then you go, oh, I love a and then you walk out. That's party antics. You're not allowed to partake in party antics.
I think I can.
You have no. Sorry, judge. Thanks. You have forfeited your right for any party paraphernalia.
Sorry, okay, yeah, this is the final ruling. Sure.
Yeah. I think that's you're not allowed to partake in party antics.
Okay.
If your karaoke song comes on, you're not allowed to go out and sing Crocodile Rock. That's not.
And then fuck off back to your room immediately
anyway,
after.
guys, that's my no. Okay, bye.
That's actually
Like,
so
you know,
fair.
like-
You can't
Yeah.
partake in the game of Jenga if you're not going to help build the tower and pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah. You can't play Twister if you don't lay out the mat.
I respect that. And I think that's a compromise.
I think that is a compromise. There are more. I think there'd be more issues in like maybe the frequency of party or like other things, but that can be for another
another
day.
episode.
Now,
baby.
we've
That's another
covered
episode.
that gripe. I have one more. This is sort of like an add-on to that.
Okay.
You come home the next morning, let's say,
Yeah.
the house is still a mess. That's not your job to clean up the house.
No.
How long do you give them? How
It's
many?
the end of the day.
And they have 24 hours?
Yeah,
or they have
100%.
12 hours?
Whatever.
Considering that they're hungover and they're probably not waking up until maybe midday.
End of the day. Yeah.
End of the day?
100%.
You know, it's they party Friday, Saturday night. You got the
I'm
weekend.
a big believer you got 24 hours.
Yeah,
Yes,
same.
for the whole 24.
That's arguably why
You've
the
got
Lord's Day
the
exists.
end of the next day. Yeah, the Lord's Day.
I think it's the core mess needs to be gone. If there's things that prohibit me from, let's say, cooking breakfast or sitting on the couch and I can't go about my day-to-day, sure, if there's a couple of cups left over or cans, but if they're directly hindering my
Can't you
experience
just
of living...
do one of these? Like
Not
push
my
it all
job.
up.
Hey, You've had the party. Fantastic work on your end for having a social life.
On your pal. Great job,
I
Chef.
watch Big Bang Theory.
And yeah, but there's not cans on the couch. You
What
can
if there is? That's on there.
We'll do
I
one of
think a
those.
general
We've covered
tidy
this.
needs to happen as the party's ending. Just a quick round the grounds. Our friends do that a lot. They help us out with a quick round the grounds before everyone leaves.
Yeah, I'm generally at the end. I'm doing the red. Like, yeah, that's pretty nice.
My pet hate is when people will crack a can at your house, like early in the morning, like party's ending and they're finishing cans and they're cracking them. They're full cans and they leave them there.
Yeah.
Either pour it out, drink it, or don't open it to begin with. Also, if you have more cans left over at the end of the party, they go to the host.
That's dibs. Yeah.
100%. We don't have any vegetables in the vegetable tray. That's the leftover drinks tray. that's where everyone's leftovers are going.
Some people that are scumbaggy enough to message the next day and say, hey, I left 3 beers. I'll just get them for me next time.
They're in my gut, mate.
Bro,
Absolutely
you
not.
came to my house.
Absolutely not.
That is a peace offering. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And it's so scumbaggy to think that they're yours now. I don't care that you make minimum wage, as do we all. I've offered up my home for you to come get yourself and then go home drunk.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You should see the amount of jackets I've accumulated in the cupboard.
And they're your clothes.
Anything you leave at a house
Yeah.
is now part of that house.
Partners, loved ones.
Car keys,
Yeah.
anything.
And that's final, and that's been a
is
Sharehouse.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could do a double compromise right
compromise.
there. Please.
Thank you for coming on my podcast, boys.
I'll plug it. Send it home then.
I've been William Boyd. This is my podcast, the Sharehouse Pod.
Nice.
You can email us any of your...
Just checking the script. It's a phony.
any of your-
You have to memorize this.
Oh, sorry, there's an ad break here that's been scribbled out. You couldn't have printed a new script for me, could you, boys?
But no, please,
Let's do an ad
sharehouse.gmail.com.
break. Friend of the Pod podcast. Tune into that. Well, great, much better than this. Sorry.
Friend of the what? The frog?
He's cutting out. We're just going to mute his mic.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I think we should all,
me, guys.
we should all bow to the cameras, I
should
think,
all.
as ad respect.
Please find William Boyd on social media. He's
Please.
one half of Smelling Good Productions, a comedy duo that will bust your gut. Busted mine, almost been in car accidents because of it.
Do you guys have anything to plug?
It's a terrible plug for his podcast. People need to stay safe on the roads, man. Trying to get a road to zero.
At SharehousePod on Instagram and TikTok, or email us sharehousepod@gmail.com with your gripes.
Yeah.
Do you know the closing line?
Goodbye. No. Oh, no.
I got it.
Thank you for tuning in, and tell someone that you hate them.
That's not the line! No, I stuffed it up! I'm going to put love them over the... Wait, I'm going to love them. That's your voice.
Nah, I'll do it. Thank you for tuning into the Sharehouse podcast. I've been William Boyd. Tell someone today that you
Love them. That was really solid.